Hello everyone, welcome to the class.
Hello everyone.
In the first two sections, we talked about the charm of Chinese characters and calligraphy. Today, we were going to talk about the beauty of seal carving art.
The seal is a combination of Chinese calligraphy and carving, and it is a unique arts and crafts.
Yes, seal carving is slightly different from the general arts and crafts because of its calligraphic artistic attributes. Chinese seal carving and calligraphy are the twin sisters of Chinese art.
As for the origin of seals, writers of Zhou and Zuo Zhuan have recorded the use of seals. It can be said that seals have been used in social activities in the middle of the spring and autumn period.
Modern archaeology has found that seals existed in the Yin and the Shang dynasties, and the ancient seals in the Warring States period had reached a fairly high artistic level.
At first, the seals were mainly made of copper, gold, and other metal materials, which was inseparable from the fact that most seals were made of casting and smelting. There are also small numbers of rhinoceros, ivory, jade, and stone seals.
Shoushan stone, Qingtian stone, Changhua stone, and Baling stone are the four seal stones. Their gorgeous color, natural and delicate, texture and moderate hardness make them directly become the best carrier of seals.
As for seal carving, like painting and calligraphy, the more famous the person, the higher the price.
In ancient times, seals are generally flat and small, carved with various shapes of seals, such as otter, platform, dragon, tiger, and so on. They are usually hung on the belt for easy use.
The order of their rank was as follows. Jade was the most expensive and was generally used exclusively by the emperor, followed by gold and silver. After the Sui and the Tang dynasties, the official seals became larger and the materials were richer.
Wang Mian of the Yuan dynasty discovered the soft immersion stone, which opened up a broad world for the development of seal carving art. Since then, various schools of seal carving have emerged, and many famous masters have emerged in the field.
In the Qing dynasty, the art of seal carving was more popular, and there was no lack of inheritors and innovators in various schools. Nowadays, the art of seal carving stands in the forest of the world's national arts with its unique artistic charm.
The appearance of seal is a natural result of the complexity of human society. Now, it seems that although the seal seems insignificant in form, it comes with the early civilization in many areas. In the relationship between people and society, it used to play an indispensable role of identity recognition, credit and position, reliance for a long time.
In fact, the concept of seal has two parts. One is the Xiyin. In China, the seal generally refers to the official and the private seal with the function of relying on trust from the pre-Qin dynasty to the Qing dynasty. So it is also called the ancient seal.
The earliest ancient seals are ancient Xi, most of which belong to the Warring States period, and there are also relics of the spring and autumn period. Ancient seals can be divided into official and private types. At that time, they were called xi, regardless of the rank.
The second is seal carving as an artistic style. The latter is closer to the print mode, although it can also undertake the function of the former. But since the Ming and the Qing dynasties, the trend of evolution is gradually away from credits, becoming a kind of artistic creation.
Ancient seals have different shapes and sizes, including rectangle, square, circle, and other special shapes. The content includes official position, name, and auspicious language.
The Qing and Han dynasty were the periods of unprecedented brilliant development of seals. In the Han dynasty, all the seals were called yin, except the imperial seals. Some of the official seals are called zhang or yinzhang, while some of the private seals are called xinyin or yinxin. The word yinzhang comes from this.
Yes, Han Dynasty seals are more abundant in content and form than before, especially in private printing. The seal of Han Dynasty is in the form of Miao seal. This font is associated with the rise of official script in the Han Dynasty. Its structure is simplified, and the strokes are flat and straight.
Most of the seals in the Western Han Dynasty were made by casting, among which the seals in Xinman period at the end of the Western Han Dynasty were the most exquisite. In the Eastern Han Dynasty, the most distinctive seal was chiseled, which was made in a prepared print on the temporary cut. The seal is generally not decorated.
In the Qing and Han dynasties, there was a kind of a seal called mud seal. It is a dry hard mud with ancient seals on it. It is also a precious physical object preserved by the relics of ancient seals. The artistic value of the mud seal lies in that it is the source of the seal, and its external shape and seal carving form are still basically used today.
At that time, the seal was basically used by the government to exchange official documents, so the engraving was very regular, and the characters had the same density. It must be smooth and regular, which set a model for the seals of later generations.
The seals of Wei, Jin, and the Southern and Northern dynasties basically followed the form of the Han seal. During the Northern and the Southern dynasties, writing paper was widely used, so a new method of seal came into being, and the method of sealing mud began to be abolished.
Seal art was in a low state during the 700 years from Sui and the Tang dynasties to Song, Liao, and the Jin dynasties. In the Yuan dynasty, Mongolian nobles engraved private seals with the signature of Ba Si Wen. So a unique seal carving form emerged, the sublime.
But in the civilian officials and the majority of the Han people still use the seal is still in seal character Zhao Mengfu. A famous painter designed his own seal and forged it into a seal for his own use, which is compatible with his own style of painting and calligraphy.
The seals of Ming and the Qing dynasties formed the interest of practical and artistical functions. As far as common people are concerned, they all need to use seals as a tool of trust in social life.
The social demand for seals is increasing. For example, The development of stone seal materials with rich resources, low price, and easy production also provides the possibility for the popularization of seals. The handcraft industry, which takes seal carving as its industry, arises at the historical moment.
In the Ming and the Qing dynasties, official seals were made with strict specifications. The development of calligraphy and painting promoted the synchronous development of seal cutting.
In the earlier Ming dynasty, Wang Mian first used Huaru stone to carve seals. The discovery of stone seal materials provided an opportunity for a large number of literati, calligraphers, and painters with high cultural accomplishment to participate in seal carving creation.
In the late Ming dynasty, Huizhou, Jingling, Wumen, and other places with developed economy and a collection of talented people first formed a seal cutting expert group.
By this time, seal carving had developed into a form for literati artists to express their aesthetic tastes, aesthetic ideas, and feelings in the form of seal. The history of Chinese seal has thus turned into a development period dominated by literati seal carving.
Although the seal carving of literati is derived from the context of ancient seal, its spiritual essence is to pay attention to the new connotation of humanistic art. In this sense, seal carving has become the beginning of a new form of Chinese seal.
With the improvement of the social and economic, and the revitalization of literature and art, contemporary seal carving art has a more active vitality. The structure of the creative group is becoming more diversified. The artistic concept is constantly updated, and the artistic style genealogy is further expanded. These are the distinctive characteristics of the contemporary Chinese seal carving art.
Seal carving art was born in the distant seal year, and will go to a more distant future with the whole national culture. This is a special phenomenon in the history of world seal culture.
As an integral part of Chinese calligraphy and painting, you can see the world in a small space through seal. It is the artistic charm of the seal itself. What are the main aspects of the beauty of seal carving art?
The first is the beauty of tightness and symmetry. Seal carving is not limited by the shape of the stone, and the whole seal is flat and regular. The positions of the seals in the layout arrangement and the strokes are generally tidy and fit. Seal characters have even space between vertical and horizontal. The numerous and brief strokes are balanced on both sides. In order to achieve the effect of mutual adaptation, so as to add the aesthetic feelings of decoration and a stable level layout.
The second is the beauty of interface. The arrangement of the seal is unconstrained. The position is intricate, and the strokes of the characters are interspersed with each other. The layout is extremely flexible, which highlighting the interest of the calligraphy and strokes without restraint, so as to produce the aesthetic feeling of the virtue and the real.
The third is the beauty of ad, or subject, and echo. Ad, or subject, can balance the layout of the virtual and the real and the center of gravity. Dense jokes can be subjected properly. The long stroke close to the imprint edge or parallel to the imprint edge can be broken to ventilate it.
Add or subtract is one of the important methods used by the people in Han Dynasty to deal with the layout of private seal. To increase the simplicity and to damage the complexity in order to produce a sense of beauty in symmetry and echo. To sum up, the key to seal carving is the spirit, the potential, the feeling, and the rhyme, and then final reached harmony, regardless of the number of words and shapes. The seal must be united.
Yes, today we have studied the development and aesthetic features of the art of seals and the seal carving art. That's all for today. See you next time.